What the heck was that? I just finished watching the 2 hour presentation of Summer Games Fest, and it's difficult to call it bad because it wasn't unentertaining, but it felt like it just had so much filler. Random indie games about crying or global warming, lots of very scattershot announcements between big AAA games that I am excited about, like Callisto Protocol. But let's talk about all of it. What's up, gamers? Dreamcastguy here, and this has been an interesting summer in general because obviously we don't have E3, so things have certainly changed, but as you can see here, this just finished. I want to give you my live thoughts because this is something that feels like there is this big gap in the gaming industry where we want to talk about games, we want to be hyped together, but right now, still, even after watching 2 hours of trailers, I'm not sure exactly what we're about to be playing. Except for one thing, which is the sponsor of this video, which is Boss Factory. The new Saints Row game is coming out on August 23rd, which is not too far away, and personally, I'm very excited about it. The idea of driving around this wacky, colorful city and exploding everything I see seems incredibly exciting. Well, in order to just have a bit of fun in the meantime, today they've released the Boss Factory. So this is essentially a custom character creator that allows you to completely craft your own hero or your own villain. Now, this means every part of it. Your hair, painting it, coloring it. What outfit do you want to wear? Do you want to give yourself big old yellow shades like I did? Or maybe give yourself a big muscular frame or be teeny tiny? Every part of your character is to your tastes, but to make this even more epic, if you download the demo, which is just used in the description box right at the top, you'll see my link. By clicking that, you can install this and play it, and whenever the full game comes out, not only do you get to import your now customly made character, but you also get the Marshall Defense Technologies rocket launcher, which sounds incredibly dangerous and incredibly fun to use. Now, reminder, this is coming out in just a couple weeks, August 23rd, so big thank you to Boss Factory and Saints Row for sponsoring this video, but now let's get back to the news. Okay, so let's begin from the very start of this presentation, which was certainly the strongest part. The deeper we go into Summer Games Fest, the more they certainly started to lose me, but they started off with an absolute bang, which was with this new Street Fighter 6 gameplay. Now, I'm afraid to show too much of it because it may get copyright claimed, but certainly Street Fighter 6 seems to be like the best parts of Street Fighter 2 or Street Fighter 3. And what I mean by that is flashy characters, crazy combos, big, spectacular special attacks, and Guile is returning. Seeing Street Fighter 6 just kind of running, playing, doing those good tricks, I am very excited about it. It's kind of crazy how finished Street Fighter 6 looks. I know it's coming next year, but we've probably got some sort of beta or something coming up, because the more we see of that game, with the leaked roster, which I can't show you, but there is a bunch of huge details that already exist for Street Fighter 6 that make it seem like if it's not done, it's really getting there. Now, I want to talk about a game that feels like a lot of people on Twitter were sort of hating on, but it actually blew me away, which was Alien Dark Descent. Now, initially the trailer makes it look like this big, huge, dungeon crawler-ish style game with them trying to go into this derelict ship, hunting down xenomorphs and stuff like that. But at the end of the trailer, they actually showed that it's a twin-stick shooter. Now, if you've been subscribed to the channel for a bit, you guys will know, secretly, I am obsessed with twin-stick shooters. I think they're incredibly fun, they're very responsive. Games like Diablo or Neon Chrome or anything like that, Returner, like everything like that is a huge plus to me. Honestly, Alien Dark Descent looks good, but my true game of the show, which I cannot gush enough about, has got to be Callisto Protocol. Now, they reshowed the initial trailer that they've already showed, which is like 2 minutes. Now, it seems like this is going to be like a guy stuck on a prison planet, which is Callisto, which is, I believe, one of the moons of Saturn. This planet is one big iceberg, and some sort of monster virus has been unleashed. But this seems like such a good mix of Dead Space, because this is the creators of Dead Space, but it also has like this interesting step further amount of gore and body horror. People turned against you, chaotic energy all over the place. Like, Callisto Protocol is my favorite game of the show, and I can easily say now it's my most hyped game of the year. Like, watching people get their limbs blown off, they showed this raw gameplay segment. They actually showed 2 short ones, one where he's going through like a med bay, with all sorts of gooey creatures oozing out of vents, and also a power plant section where he ends up getting sucked into a turbine and ground into spaghetti. Like, words cannot express how hyped I am for Callisto Protocol. I am going to review the heck out of that game. Next, they did a very, very, very long display of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Now, initially, when they first started showing this, it was pretty great. I actually thought that this demo they showed of it started off with quite a bang. It's called the Dark Water Trailer. It was a bunch of like special ops soldiers sneaking onto a ship in deep ocean. Graphically, it's practically photorealistic. Like, the things they've managed to do with this engine are simply jaw-dropping, but it just went on and on and on. The gameplay demo was very long, which is cool, but I'm more curious about the multiplayer. And then they came out with like a 5-minute freaking interview with the developers talking about the future of Call of Duty, the power of the Call of Duty engine. I was hoping for either more gameplay or more multiplayer or more talk about what we're actually going to be doing, which is prestiging and shooting people with sniper rifles. Show me something from like Warzone 2. Now, there was a lot of indie games inside of this showcase, which is kind of weird. So I wrote down the names of every single indie game they showed in this, and it's interesting because honestly, indie games do power this industry. Indie games are incredibly big, they're incredibly important, and in a lot of ways, indie games innovate more than big AAA expensive projects ever do. But so many of these were utterly forgettable. Like, some of them, I didn't even write down their names because they were so bland. Like, there was some weird one that was like a space game where Troy Baker is trying to walk around a ship on Mars, and he just seems like his buddy's going to screw him over. It's called Fort Solis. Something called Routine. Routine is another space game, but maybe more horror-ish. Like, there was just a lot of short stuff. Stormgate, there's this thing, Stormgate by Frost Giant. It's the people that made StarCraft are, in my opinion, making StarCraft again, which good on them. A lot of this stuff just felt like in a typical showcase, they would be your buffer, your filler, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I still think that indie games are important. I'm glad they got such a big setting on the stage, a spotlight, but none of this stuff really wowed me, and I felt bad about that. Something that did catch my eye to a surprising degree, though, was this thing called Witchfire. It's like a first-person shooter with demons and magic. I don't even know what the heck this is about, but Witchfire seems incredibly fun. The gameplay demo, I noticed if you zoomed in, he had like this little pistol with tiny crucifixes or little crosses on each bullet, and it seems like, I don't know, they said it's a PC-only game right now. I think it's about to enter early access. I don't know, it kind of looks like a procedurally generated doing quests. I don't know, it seems like if somebody decided to make a creepy, macabre twist on something like Borderlands, which to me seems like a very fun combination. Now, next up, they decided to show a bunch of short teaser trailers for Nintendo games, and pretty much all this stuff was announced. Things like Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Splatoon 3, all that seems fun. All of that seems great. I mean, it felt like there was that little throwing of bones to the Nintendo fans in the middle of all these other great trailers. But there was one Nintendo game, or one game that's coming to Nintendo Switch, that definitely kind of caught my eye, because even though it's indie, it seems very, very, very high budget in its ideas, which is Neon White. This is a first-person shooting card game, it seems like. We're playing as some sort of corrupted angel trying to fight his way back into heaven. The game is incredibly fast. I've heard rumors that actually reviewers are already playing it. If somehow the developers see this video, send me a code. I would definitely love to review this game because it looks like a big old cup of yum yum. Speaking of cup, we finally saw that Cuphead DLC, which is called The Delicious Last Course. It's coming out this month, June 30th, at the very end of it. I'm kind of out of my Cuphead phase now. I played a lot of Cuphead when it initially came out. Delicious Last Course seems good, but I don't know. It definitely seems like, it's more of what we already enjoyed. Maybe I'll go back and play it, but unfortunately, 95% chance I'm not. Now, something that kind of sucked about this presentation, and I do feel like there's a lot of hate for it already on social media, is because there was a lot of CG trailers. Trailers that did not show gameplay. Just tiny, they showed Marvel Midnight Suns again, and it showed, Wolverine teaming up with Spider-Man, and Wolverine teaming up with, freaking Ghost Rider and stuff, going against what seems to be, spirits that are mind-controlling people from hell. And as interesting as that is, it's a purely CG trailer. I have no idea what Midnight Suns is even supposed to be about. I think I've heard some rumors that it's going to be a card game or a real-time strategy game or something, but from a 4-minute trailer where people are flipping off car hoods, I mean, I can't see that. If that's what it's about, I can't freaking tell. I kind of feel like trailers like this are almost misleading because you're going to get excited for a project that, quite frankly, does not exist. But thankfully, something that was pure gameplay and just seemed like pure hype was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. It's coming out next freaking week, June 16th. They showed off the fact that Shredder's Revenge is going to have 6-player co-op. 6-player co-op. They also revealed that Casey Jones is going to be in it. Like, that seems incredibly fun. Like, that game seems like it's made by the fans for the fans. .emu, they're the people that made the Streets of Rage 4. These people are the masters of modern day brawlers, and that game is going to be a blast. I cannot wait to play it. I do think I'm going to probably do a review of that just for the heck of it, because heck yes, I'm super down for that. Now, next up, I want to talk about all the Last of Us announcements, because there was a surprising amount of them. So first and foremost was the Last of Us remake. Real quickly here, I want to show you this, which is these side-by-side comparisons that show what is different about the Last of Us remake. Now, I've already done a video looking at the trailer in its totality, but these side-by-side comparisons, I feel like they give you a better idea about how The Last of Us Remastered does look good. I mean, this game is not that old, but The Last of Us remake is definitely a substantial step in the right direction, because this is being rebuilt inside of the Last of Us Part 2 engine, but the fact that this costs $70 is still a bit of a shock. Now, after this, they talked a lot about the Last of Us TV show. Whoop-de-doo, I'll probably watch it, but even as a big fan of Last of Us, going to watch a TV show is not exactly what I tuned into a press conference of video games about. They did say, though, that there's going to be a big expansion with the Last of Us factions, which I guess they're not even calling that, but there is going to be a standalone Last of Us multiplayer experience, which they said is unfortunately coming next year, so 2023, but they described it as a map the size of an entire Naughty Dog game. And this screenshot, or this concept art, does seem properly enormous. It's kind of shocking how much they're trying to make multiplayer bigger and better and different. Now, I want to finish off here with a couple games that definitely seemed interesting, but also a bit outside my typical scope. One of them is Warhammer Darktide. This is from the developers that did Vermintide. This looks like basically Warhammer version of Left 4 Dead. Tons of weak enemies trying to pile up and attack you, fighting them off, big procedurally generated co-op with different objectives. This game looks fun as hell. Anything co-op, instantly cooler. This game looks great. Darktide actually makes me care about the Warhammer universe. Whenever this comes out, I'm definitely buying that. But additionally, Soul Hackers 2, I've never played Soul Hackers 1. I don't even know what Soul Hackers 2 is about, but they showed a quick little tease trailer that was very green, very cool looking. I feel like a lot of these trailers at least managed to stun me. They managed to impress because it seems like something is going on. You know, it's almost one of the things where a good trailer should make you want to see more of it, and Soul Hackers 2 definitely did that. But definitely the one trailer they showed today that surprised me the most was One Piece Odyssey. I have never seen One Piece. I don't know the One Piece character names. I think there's one guy named Luffy or Luffy, and I don't know anybody else. But the trailer, it kind of gave me Final Fantasy XII vibes. And I mean that in the best way possible, which is that it definitely had that vibe that something here is big and spectacular and epic. I think the One Piece manga is coming to an end soon, so maybe they're really just pouring in the budget and doing a final giant storyline right. They also showed off a little bit of Bloober Team's next Layers of Fear game. There's rumors that Bloober Team is working on some sort of Silent Hill project, and this trailer for Layers of Fears, instead of Layers of Fear 3, like a normal development studio would call it, it seems good. It seems different. Overall, I don't know if I had a good time with this entire press conference. The biggest problem was that, yeah, there's a lot of filler with like Goat Simulator 3. Freaking The Rock showed up and did a commercial for his energy drink. What was the point of that? Why are we even allowing all these celebrities to come on and talk about random gobbledygook? Why did you make me watch the Black Adam trailer in the middle of what should have been an E3 press conference? Who paid Jeff Keighley for that? No freaking thanks. Overall, I'll give Summer Games Fest a 6.5 out of 10 because the games that look good look absolutely great, but from an entertainment standpoint, I'm not sure this was really what I would consider to be a good time. But what did you think about it? Please tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. Please like this video if you haven't already, and subscribe because you guys rock. Now, I am going to edit this together and get ready to install freaking Shredder's Revenge. You guys rock. Have a great night and keep dreaming.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.